Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Prebell with Team William in India. Today, Feb 14, 2023, and let's start with Nifty setup. So yesterday, Nifty faced resistance near its 21 DMA, the green line that you can see over here. That's the 21 DMA, and reverse from there to close in the lower half of the day's range. So that's what something we didn't like. But one thing to note over here was that since last couple of sessions, when Nifty is a bit range bound to negative, the volume has dropped, I think, for last couple of sessions. And it looks like that, market is waiting for that US CPI data. So yesterday, our India CPI data was out, and that was above estimate. So estimate was somewhere around ki 6.1 jitna aayega, but it has increased to 6.5, and that is above the RBI's threshold. So RBI has a target कि भाई 6 से ज़्यादा नहीं होना चाहिए. It should not be more than 6. But yeah, it has came 6.5. So in December, it was below 6. So that was something considered very positive. And after this 25 bips rate hike this time, it felt like कि हाँ अभी अगर 6 के अंदर inflation रहा, then RBI might pause, because many central banks like Canada has paused, US has cut down the size of rate hikes, but it looked like that okay, now India might not go for a further rate hike. But looking at these inflation numbers, it seems that the chances again are back that there might be a couple of 25 bips rate hike or a one rate hike. As the governor clearly specified that the things will be data driven. So अगर data driven पे बात आती है, तो अगर ये अपना एक और इन्फ्लेशन, फेब्रुआरी का इन्फ्लेशन अगर थोड़ा और ज्यादा आया, लाइक मे बी 6 के थोड़ा ऊपर आया, ठीक है, देन द डेटा कंफर्म्स दैट ओके अभी भी चाहिए रेट हाइक, क्योंकि वो लिमिट जो थ्रेशोल्ड लिमिट सेट किया है आरबीआई ने 6 का, इट इज कमिंग अबव दैट लेवल. So that's why not a positive news for the markets. But let's see, if I think the US things settle down, then market might be able to digest our inflation of 6.5%. So it will be a decider tonight that what might happen. Now, a couple of things to watch out for today is the 21 DMA. So on the higher side, 17,870. This is the level to watch out for. Yep. So yesterday's closing was 770. Okay. So now on the higher side, 100 points higher, that is 17,870 level becomes very crucial. On the downside, the important level is yesterday's low, that is 17,700. So good build up over there. वहाँ पे एक support मिल रहा है. So the first range for today might be 770, 17,700 to 17,870. So these are the levels to watch out for in the today's session. A breakout about this level, then you might be open till 925. Okay, and a breakdown below this level of 700, you might be open till 650. So these are the important levels to watch out for today's session. Okay, so key news, again, a lot of results. It's a result season. We discussed the CPI inflation. So IRB's revenue growth was decent. The PAT almost doubled. There was some margin contraction, but yeah, overall it was a healthy growth. Steel Authority of India's earnings beat estimate, though the revenue was down around 1% on a YOY basis, and EBITDA was down 40% on a YOY basis. But overall, जो एक estimate था उससे better result आया है. Campus Activewear revenue growth decent, EBITDA was almost flat, and margin contracted around 1.7%. Renuka Sugar, the revenue growth was 27% on a YOY basis. EBITDA growth was also 27%. The margin remained flat on a YOY basis. GR Infra's Q3 revenue grew 12.1% and PAT doubled to 323 crore. Zee Entertainment Q3 revenue was down 10 bips to around 2112 crore. It remains almost same on a YOY basis. EBITDA was down as the margin contracted 6.4% YOY. So overall आप देखें तो Z result was also in line to above estimates. So if you compare it with estimates, it was a bit better because estimates were already on the lower side. So today some key result: Adani Enterprise, Eicher Motor, Grasim, ONGC, Apollo Hospital, Biocon, and many others like IPCA, NMDC, PI, PNC, Radico, Siemens. This is good one. Torrent Power. All the results are due today. So now if you look at the global market updates, so Dow, S&P and Nasdaq 1.1 to 1.5% gain. So just before the CPI data, the closing was positive for the US market. And I think that has helped a bit sentimentally for us, the US market. Otherwise, I think looking at our CPI data, there was expectation कि हाँ थोड़ा नीचे की side market जाएगा. But yeah, this has helped SGX at least to hold the level. But let's see what happens at opening. And Asian market, Shanghai was flat, Kospi and Nikkei trading higher. So if you look at SGX Nifty, uh, it's trading around 17,805 compared to close of 770 in the spot yesterday. So a flat opening expected. Little might be on the negative side, but yeah, overall a flat opening like yesterday. Today, talk of the day, we have selected, or you can say chart of the day, Pricol. The result was very good. The earnings growth as well as the revenue growth was decent. If you look at the number of fund holdings have increased, the EPS strength is fair, but it is improving. So that's what why we like it. Price strength is decent, buyer demand is good. If you look at the overall business of Precol, जो auto ancillaries का उनका business है, so I don't think कोई भी ऐसा ऑटो कंपनी होगा नहीं होगा जो कि इनके साथ कनेक्टेड नहीं है. आई थिंक ऑल द ऑटो कंपनीज आर देयर कस्टमर्स, so it's a good brand in their segment. They are also venturing well into the EV parts, so that's positive for the company. So overall it's 5% below the pivot. It's forming a decent cup with handle pattern. So over here during the handle formation, the volume dry up was something which is very ideal. And the right side, there was some accumulation over here, right? So it's a decent setup. The RS is improving, no two ways about that. But yeah, it needs to break out. Needs to break out about that 212 level. So yeah, about 212 level, it falls into the ideal buy zone. It's 212 to 223 is the ideal buy zone. So that's it for today's session, guys. Thank you for joining.